Hello everyone, this is me, Dusty Circuit here with another impromptu video. Well, because of Asgard getting a revamp soon, and I more just I guess is something for me to do on my channel while I wait. I thought I'd take you on a little bit of a tour of some of my modded single player worlds, and yeah, I did play well, I've been playing modded Minecraft I think since 2015, or it was either 2015 or 2016, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure I started in 2015. But unfortunately I don't have really any of my really old worlds dating back to that period, as I think I've like gone through I think three computer upgrades since then. Well, like entirely new computers since then, and unfortunately I didn't make an effort to preserve my old worlds. So unfortunately I don't have them to show you, but I do have at least some to show you. What I am in right now, the world I'm in right now. This is actually a mod pack that I threw together entirely by myself, just out of mods from other packs that I liked. I don't know if I can show you the mod list on video, but I think I can. I'm probably going to have to zoom this in editing so you can see, but these are all the mods, at least in this mod pack. And I'm showing you this because this is a custom pack that I made myself. This is not a pre-made pack. And then the version of this is 1.7.10. Uh, I don't know exactly how many hours I have in this world. Uh, well, according to Prism Launcher, I have about 21 days in this instance, but I'm not exactly sure how many of that is this world or how many of it is my other worlds I have. Well, I would say at least a decent chunk of that is this world. I'd say at least half of that. But I guess I'll go to base number 1 first. So this is my starter base. And, well, firstly, about the worlds. This is, I believe, this is not vanilla generation. This is actually I believe this is a mod called alternate terrain generation, or I think I might have to look up, well, correct, if I'm not correct, if live me isn't correct, I guess editing me will correct that, but, this basically just makes the terrain, more, I guess, smooth. Like you can see, like this is an ocean, but it's actually not all that deep. But the reason I went for this terrain generation was because I wanted to build I wanted to build a base inside of a mountain. And I guess because this terrain generation has a lot of mountains, I guess that's why I chose this. And for my first base, I just decided to settle down here. And over there is a roguelike dungeon. And over here is a village, but it has I believe this building might this building is from immersive engineering. And I think at some point I put those. These are advanced solar panels from Mechanism. I think I would have put those there as one of my early game power sources. And apparently I also put windmills up here. Or those are wind turbines, also from Mechanism. And I believe these storage crates I may have actually gotten from the village. They're basically, if you break them and replace them, they retain their contents. So I guess it's kind of like it's sort of like shulker boxes, but in a version of Minecraft before shulker boxes existed. And here's just kind of random. These are kind of junk chests at this point, but they would have been the first chests I would have had in this base. I think this would have been for early game power, but I just left it there. So it's a lava generator from extra utilities. I honestly forget what this would have been for. I guess maybe a crop farm, like an early game crop farm. And over here, I think I had some kind of mob farm. But using, it's called the auto spawner from Mine Factory Reloaded. Oh, I think this would have been an Enderman farm. Well, I think I would have used this for a few different things, but I think the main reason I put this here was for an Enderman farm for RF Tools dimlets, because those you get them from killing Endermen, and this grinder, basically like whenever every mob it kills counts as considered a player kill. And so it's possible to get loot that's only possible from player kills with that machine. And I think this was what's left of one of my first, I think I had a quarry here. I think I would have used an RF Tools builder as a quarry. And this was the storage for it, and this was before I had applied energistics, so I kind of had to do storage and chests and caches. Or these are caches from thermal expansion. And I think this would have been dimlet processing. Like this is a dimlet researcher, and this is a dimlet scrambler. And I think this would have been loot to do with loot bags. So, like, I think this actually would automate. I think, oh, now that I think about it, this would automatically open loot bags and put them in the chest. And, oh, and this, if you put items from loot bags in here, it'll basically make new loot bags. It's kind of a way of recycling them. And actually, fairly early on, I actually would have dabbled a lot into RF tools just as a way for me to get easier access to certain resources that I think would have been that would be harder to get normally in vanilla. I think here, I think I would have had an RF tools world that made oil, and then I refined that into fuel, and then I think I would have had some kind of, I think I might have had at one point a advanced generator multi-block, which basically burns the fuel and makes power here, but I think at some point I removed that. And over here is just miscellaneous mechanism machines. Over here is actually, I had ore processing. Though I think I actually got, I think this is tier 4 ore processing, where like you get quadruple the ores you put in. And over here, and I think how I did, like, I believe in a RF tools world, I would have had a, I would have set up the evaporation, thermal evaporation plants. And I would have had an ender tank going to the overworld. And basically I'm taking, because it's only possible to send the mechanism gases in their fluid form through ender tanks, I think I would have had to convert it to a fluid with the rotary condensator. I would have had to convert it to a fluid in the RF tools world and then send that into the overworld and then convert it back into the gas. And then I can use it for the ore processing. And this is a improved blast furnace from immersive engineering. I think I would have made it to speed up steel production. And this is crystal growing for applied energistics 2. I think at some point I actually had an applied energistics system, but I think I moved it to the second base. And over here was where my power setup used to be, and yep, kind of a common theme you might see in my modded worlds is I seem to have a affinity to building large and OP reactors and power generation setups. I think in here I actually would have had a mechanism fusion reactor, and I think this is literally also my first time even making a mechanism fusion reactors, and I guess I would have been more just for my own curiosity's sake. I think I wanted to dabble into that. And like over here would have been water collection, and then I think the reactor itself would have been here. And these are steam turbines, which are still here. And also have an induction matrix, which is basically mechanisms power storage multi-block. I still have about 30 trillion RF in here. And these are cryostabilized flux ducts, which are, at least I think, the only energy cabling that I know about that can do infinite RF per tick. But they are a pain to make, and they're quite expensive to make as well. Well, not really expensive in terms of what they require to make, but it's also, I guess expensive in that regard, but also in the amount of materials that are required to make them. And I think at one point I made a RF Tools world out of the liquid meat, and I think I actually found a way to pump that into the overworld and then turn that into cooked meat ingots, which I think I would have used as a food source for quite a while. Though I think normally you get that from killing cows with the slaughterhouse, which is another machine from Mine Factory Reloaded. And here I just set up I set up a wheat farm here. I forget why it's here. I think maybe I might have wanted to automate it at some point, or maybe I just set this up here and I just never removed it. And there's also another portal here. I don't think I really done anything big in the Nether. I think this, to me, was just more of a resource biome than anything else. I believe I have Natura on, and I think Biomes of Plenty, but I didn't have. I think I didn't choose Biomes of Plenty for this for the option for the world generation for this world. I think I chose the alternate terrain generation, but I think it's because I still have the Natura mod. And like other things installed, I think that's why the Nether still has those features. I'd say that's about it for this base. And as for base number 2, like my plan was for this to be my actual, like that base was just more my starter base, and it just ended up getting messy. And I guess my plan for this was for this to be like my actual permanent base, but this kind of ended up being a bit of a mess in its own, because I kind of just had this so it's over here. So this is my ME system, and here is I also set up a bunch of auto crafting or molecular assemblers for auto crafting, but I don't think I ever got that many recipes in it. Like, I think this is literally the only auto crafting I have. And down here, I decided I wanted to expand upon the fusion reactor, and I think at some point I would have built a ton of steam turbines here, because I wanted to create as much power as I can. And I think using this, I think I would have gotten about I forget how much power. I think maybe about a couple billion RF per tick, which is, I don't think I really know if there's even any mods that can use that much power. Like, it's really more for just bragging rights. But even my I just have a fusion reactor alone, and I'm just I just have increased the fuel injection rates to the point where it is producing just shy of 10 million RF per tick, which even then, that's still more power than I'm able to use. And as for the fusion reactor itself, I think I got this pretty automated. Like, I ended up automating the lasers and the production of the hull rams. I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but I decided I wanted to automate the restarting of the reactor, because for whatever reason, I just kept running into some weird problem where occasionally the reactor would shut down. And really just how I decided to tackle that was to just make a fully automated system to restart it. But I think at some point, but I believe I'm actually producing more fuel than I'm using, so this bedrockium drum has been allowed to completely backfill with DT fuel, which is actually what I'm using for the reactor. Like, you can use, well, for those of you who know this, you can use either deuterium and tritium separately, or you can combine them in the chemical infuser and get DT fuel, and then you can just put that straight in. Though, because of the power level I'm running this reactor at, like, I believe I could actually, I think I could demonstrate that right now. I can break this. I guess I should cut that off or else it's going to waste those, but like this is going down, but because I'm running this reactor like way over, I guess what it's normally run at, this has more than enough heat to, like, if I were to reconnect the fuel supply, it should restart. But I think I also need to hook up the. Oh, I think those are required to restart. I thought it was that those are only, the hull rams are only needed for getting it up to temperature, but I guess they are needed for, they are needed to start the reactor. But like, normally if this thing shuts off, I would have to, I'd have to run those lasers, but I guess where I have this reactor so overfed, it has more than enough heat to restart on its own accord, or at least with the assistance of these things. And over here is another energy storage multi-block. Though I've learned kind of the hard way that if you build these to the maximum size, it creates a lot of lag. Though back when I last played this world, I think it would have been like two of my computer upgrades ago. So I think just like the computer I had when I last played this world would have been less powerful than what I have now. So it's like at this point, I think lag would have become a big problem. But right now, I'm getting like like over 100 FPS at 16 chunks. So here we're fine, but on the computer I had back when I was playing this world, lag would have been a problem, I think, anyway. And here I would have had a big, giant, big reactor, or extreme reactor as they're now called today. But I think at one point I removed that because I'm in favor of the of the mechanism fusion reactor. And here is just a smeltery that I used for making Tinker's tools, almost exclusively for Tinkers. And oh, I think for some reason I moved a bunch of my patterns, like my auto crafting patterns, into these. I think they may have been from one of my from my old ME system. I forget why I have all those safari nets here. I think I wanted to supercharge my Enderman farm. And I think that's what this setup would have been, but I have a feeling I might have set up an even bigger spawner in a RF tools dimension at some point. And all this over here was all for draconium production. Because I think here I would have had I actually would have had a draconium ore dimension or draconium dust dimension. I'm not sure. But it's draconium ore gravel. And I would have sent all of that into these hammers, which is supposed to crush it down to draconium ore sand, and then that crafted that into the draconium ore sand blocks, and then that went into this set of hammers, which then crushed that down into the next stage, which is the ore dust. And then I'm just smelting all of that and then importing that into the ME system. I forget why exactly I wanted to make that much of it. I think maybe for I think more just for the hell of it, and I think I wanted to make the tier 8 Draconic Energy Core, but I don't think that's in this version of Draconic Evolution. And I have 43 million Draconium ingots. I think that's the most Draconium I've ever had in any survival world. I believe that is it for at least my overworld stuff, so let's maybe go through my RF tools dimensions. I forget what's up with this world. But oh yeah, I think the reason it's dark is because this dimension is unpowered, and had I not had this thing on me, I would have died. Like I think the instant I would have stepped in here. So it's a good thing I had this on me. Like, I think this is one of my dimensions I was like trying to. I think this is before I actually had dimlets, and I think I would have made this dimension, but then I just abandoned it and cut and unpowered it. And for those of you new to this, RF tools dimensions require power to be habitable, and if they don't have power, if you go into there, you basically die. And I also have a qubit cell, which is actually charging everything in my inventory. Oh, I probably should undial that so I don't accidentally step into there. So anyway, I believe Tritium 2 is the one that I'm actually using. And this apparently is also unpowered. Yes, we're going home. Oh, this is the one I have my fuel production in for the fusion reactor. Like, at one point I would have had these water extractors or these water pumps like the size of this whole pool of water, but I think I would have scaled this back at some point to cut down on lag. And yeah, this is basically all the infrastructure you need to run a fusion reactor. Well, how big of a setup you need depends on how much power you want, but the deuterium, it comes from heavy water, which comes from these with a filter upgrade, and then into an electrolytic separator. But the tritium is a bit more complicated. You need these thermal evaporation plants, which in an older mechanism, these actually would run on solar panels, but I think in this version of mechanism, they can use these these resistive heaters, or you could use, well, these use energy or RF, but I think there's also fuel wood heaters which use fuel. or like coal. And the one thing to bear in mind is they do use a fair amount of power, the resistive heaters. But the thing about these is you can also enter in a number and then set this to actually determine how much power or how much heat you want to make. So it's rather than having to make a bunch of these, you can just dial them up. Where you can just make one and just dial it up really high, which I think is pretty neat. This one, I think I would have disconnected at some point, but these three are making brine, and then this one is turning brine into lithium. And then these are turning lithium into tritium, but they require being in the sun to work, which is why the setup is in an RF Tools world, because I think this is a world I would have put Infinite Day on, so it's always daytime. And I forget what I was doing with all this. I think I wanted to make, I think I wanted to like, make a supercharged, automatic sieve setup, like where like when, like how in Sky Factory you're making cobblestone, and then like turning it into gravel, sand, and dust, and getting ores from that. I wanted to see how fast of a setup I could make with that. But I think I never really got this working. But I believe at some point I went to logistics pipes for the setup, because I think as I saw, I believe in one of Etho's, like in their Project Ozone 2 series, I saw that they were able to extract items so fast that they literally like almost crashed their world. But I decided I wanted to use that in order to make this setup work. But I guess I just never finished that. All these are still running. They don't need to be running, so I'll shut them off. And I guess, yeah, this world is really just kind of my... If I need to have things running that are chunk loaded, it's one of the areas I put machines in. And I think all of my other dimensions are just resource dimensions. But I shall show them off anyway. Oh, this is another unpowered one. Yeah, this was a glass world. Oh, that's pretty interesting. The sun is red as well. Not quite sure what yellow means. I guess maybe low power. Like there's like it's like there's a color code for the teleporter. It shows you like when a dimension is safe to enter or not. Then I guess yellow might mean the powers are low. But this is an osmium world, and also I didn't put the sky in here, but the world generator did that, and it's pretty crazy. But I think because it puts you underground, I actually would have had to dig out of there. And for this world, I would have used the. I think for terrain, I think I would have used solid. So it's like it fills the. Basically, the dimension is full of solid blocks. So this one's also unpowered. I think this would have been my liquid meat dimension. It's basically an ocean of liquid meat. I think I would have like collected some of it with either a pump or I think in the like this is because this is older modded. I think I also would have had think I would have had an endothermic pump. Or if you don't know what that is, I think that's from the older, well, for 1.7.10, it's from, apparently I'm blanking on the name, but, it's, extra utilities, yeah, that's what that's from. Anyway, and well, if you saw the name, you probably know what this world's gonna be. Yeah. And this is a diamond ore world with spheres of water and soul sand. And if you saw by the name of this world, it's going to be solid diamond blocks. Thought I heard an explosion for a second. Not sure what these are about. They're kind of spreading. I guess they're volcanoes. And I think by now we're actually finally getting to the RF tools worlds. I'm actually keeping powered at all times. And pretty self-explanatory. It's basically solid iron blocks everywhere. Literally the entire world is made of iron. And this is even all of it that I mined currently. I mean, I do have the qubit cell, but it's rather slow. So I just ended up moving my charge pad down to here. And this is going to be liquid cryothium. Yeah, I think I would have made this world. It's for making so I could get a good supply of the cryothium for the conduits. And this is mob essence. This I actually set up a pump. The endothermic pump. In order to actually collect this. And basically what the endothermic pump does is every fluid block it removes, it replaces with stone. in order to reduce the amount of lag in your world. I think I would have used that to power auto spawners. And this is Certus quartz for applied energistics too. Another unpowered dimension. And this is a dimensional shard ore. And I think I actually died in that world a few times by the look of it. And this is glowstone. Well, now that I am remembering it, I think a reason I have all these RF Tools worlds is I wanted to make a... I wanted to speed up the crafting of the applied energistics stuff. So this world is kind of a well, I decided because I have that huge fusion reactor, I wanted to see just how many mining lasers I can run. And all of this is only uses about 1,000,000 RF per tick, and yet I'm producing 10 million. So I could theoretically run up to 10 times the amount of these that I have set up here. Oh, and this is my second Enderman farm. I'll actually see if I can't actually get that started. Yeah, this is from the mining lasers. I don't know where I have to have those items going to. Well, they are going somewhere. Oh yeah, they're going in this chest at the moment because I think I just wanted to see how fast they're coming in. It's not amazing, but it's, I guess, decently quick. And if we go over here, we can actually see all the items flowing in the pipe. And that's about the rate they're coming in. I'm not sure if I dare switch this on. I guess we'll see what happens. As it looks like, never... either the Tesseract on the other end that's supplying this isn't working, or I never got that setup working. I guess probably the former. Maybe if I move this thing. Oh, I think I figured it out. I guess me moving the endothermic pump gave these spawners mob essence, and it looks like it should start turning on, and oh wow. I believe all that stuff's going in the ME system. Yeah, we have items going in now. Yeah, and I have that Enderman farm running right now. In fact, probably for the hell of it. Uh, where's that thing? Like, what's move this to here. Or if I turn this on, we should also see ores coming in here as well. And we do. But why I have a bunch of emeralds literally that look like they're coming from nowhere, I will get to that. And I realize it's actually taking me more than I expected for me to go through all my dimensions. And this is quartz blocks. And I'm not going to stay in there long because that's obviously an unpowered dimension. But so I guess as long as my qubit can keep my phased field generator charged, I should be able to be in an unpowered dimension indefinitely. I forget what the what on earth is with this. I think I wanted to make a cobalt and ardite ore dimension, but as you can see, it is weird. But I don't see any ardite here at all. And it's a mushroom island biome, so we have mushroom cows scattered about. Oh, I guess I'm gonna shut that Enderman farm off because it's gonna spam my chat with those messages. But I think in terms of lag, at least, I'm basically able, looks like I was able to run this farm indefinitely, although we do have the XP orbs. Which I don't think I'm even collecting. Which could be an issue if I were to leave that farm running like overnight. I think because that world failed, I think I might have made this separate world just for Ardite ore. Oh, this is another really weird one. It's like just pillars. This one is for Eorium. Which I think when I had my large reactor or big reactor set up, I would have gotten the fuel for it from this dimension. And yeah, I've forgotten the sheer number of dimensions I've created in this world. But this dimension, I believe I am actually actively mining from as we speak. And I don't know if we can even see, if I fly over here, I might be able to see where the mining is happening. Oh, I think this one actually stopped. I have no clue what this dimension is for. Yeah, it's very foggy. Well, I guess by the name of it, I think I had some plan to make a mob farm here, but that never came to be. But I have no idea. It's been a good probably a year or two since I've even played actively in this world. And I guess this must be another, like, I think I wanted to make a world of just solid dimensional shard ore again, and I think I might have had some fun with Vein Miner down here, and that's why there's all this XP here. Yeah, this is satisfying to listen to. And for some reason, I have a second Emerald World. I forget why I made this. Though I think now that I've gone here, I think because I wanted more emerald blocks, so I think that other world was just flat, or this is solid. And I believe this is actually the one that's currently mining. So I was kind of mistaken. I thought that was my only world. And the reason I have this world, well, why I want to have so many emerald blocks is it's for EMC, and like I do have the, I forget what it's called. I think Project E, and I know a lot of people say like using Project E, especially alongside RF tools, basically gives you basically overpowered access to resources, but this is kind of my own, like, this is my own single player world, and I'm, for the most part, well, basically I'm able to make my own rules, and I get to play the game however my heart desires to. And let's just say I'm kind of a go big or go home kind of person, or at least when it comes to these resources, getting resources, and I guess to an extent I like to just gather tons and tons of resources in my ME system for the sake of seeing a number go up, and I guess and also like in modded, you're basically like the amount of resources some mods take is just kind of insane, and kind of in that case, having mods like RF tools and the Project E mod basically will give you more will actually make those mods actually it's kind of more of a quality of life kind of thing, just to make it so make resources easier to obtain. in very large quantities. And I'm not sure if this quarry's even close to being finished. Like, I think I set the radius of it to like something insane. I think probably like 1,000 chunks or like 500 chunks. Just so I could basically just get unlimited emeralds. And what I'm actually doing with those emeralds, or at least in this world, if you saw these emeralds coming into the ME system, and that's also where I put the laser miner ores. Well, they're going in the ME system, but then they're also getting spit into this energy condenser, which is making octuple compressed cobblestone, which is basically a very dense method of EMC storage. Is literally like one of these is worth like 43 million EMC, which I'm pretty sure like that's the most of like any other item. And so it's like, even though I only have 73,000 octuples currently, that's like, if you want to do the math, go ahead, but I'm pretty sure that's like an insanely big number of EMC. And well, for those who don't know, EMC, basically you can exchange for, well, it's like when you have the mod installed that assigns basically all vanilla items and some modded items an EMC value, which basically is you can exchange for for different blocks. I think this was one of my draconium ore worlds, and I think that's not the one I'm actually was using. I think Draconium 2 is the world that I used. Yeah, I think so. I can see my giant quarry. I don't think this one is currently mining. No, it's not. And it's of similar scale to the Emerald Quarry. I think it's probably even a little bigger. Wow. Yeah. And I've apparently been recording an hour and 30 minutes, so I'm just gonna try go through these as quick as I can. I have no idea what this world is about. I couldn't tell you. Strange. I forget what the deal with this world was. Though probably by the name of it, I think I wanted to fight wither bosses here, or I might have made it spawn wither skeletons. I'm not sure. Like, maybe could I find it? See if I can find it in all my dimension builders. Well, I'm just a little curious. Okay, my dimension inscriber is here. Oh yeah, think I wanted to spawn wither bosses, but I don't think it actually worked. So anyway, think this is just a random test I did. Yeah, I think I might have used dimlet to make that pattern happen. Either that or that was randomly generated. And okay, these are the last worlds, but pretty sure I had this. I have some of them still powered. I think I had this idea that I was going to put a ton of different ores in one world. But I don't think I ever got that working. I was just going to take one of these out and show, yeah, but this is the first world, which doesn't have power. And it did not end up anything like what I wanted it to be, so I left this world. It's probably would be a good idea to like list all these dimensions that I'm not using that are unpowered. Probably go in the world files and delete them, or at least delete remove the receivers. Oh, and this was the second of some of my experiments, and this actually turned out rather interesting. It is basically glass, and it's just all these random clumps of different blocks and ores that I put in. But these last four are actually powered. So here, I think I just made a ton of these just spheres made out of different blocks. I think I just made a tweak to that previous dimwit, or that previous dimension, to make this dimension. But I think I just ended up giving up on this experiment because just the density of ores like that I could get in this dimension, it's just that those dimensions just isn't comparable to just a solid world full of each block. But it's just I wanted to combine at least some of it because it was kind of getting just tedious having to make an entire world for like a world for redstone and a world for glowstone, in a world for quartz, in a world for iron, and etc., etc. And I also have this environmental controller, and it's basically just a big beacon that you can give a bunch of different effects, and also takes power or RF. But the more effects and the more range, the more power it requires. I was expecting to probably go over a couple different worlds in this video, but because of the amount of time just going over my dimensions took for RF tools, I'm gonna end this video here. Oh, and I also had I think I had these lasers set up here so I can make the things for logistics pipes. But anyway, thank you for watching, and if you liked what you saw, remember to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you want to see more of my videos, be sure to hit the bell for notifications. And this is me, Dusty Circuit, signing off. Peace out.